Okay, so first, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. I want to thank you guys so much for your support. I definitely appreciate it. If any of you would like to support my channel in like a different way or anything, donations are always appreciated. Or you can click the link below to sign up for that service, the cashback service I've been telling you guys about, Ebates. It's been great. I've personally been able to save like a lot of money on game purchases, supplements, even just like everyday groceries just by using it. It's awesome. It's totally free to use. And of course, you can use it online or in store. It's the link that's below. And yes, it does help to support my channel. And of course, you can always tell others about my content. That's really helpful as well. I appreciate it. So first, I want to talk about, well, just briefly touch on the Persona Smash leaks, because some people were saying they were wrong, and the leaks do tie into Persona 5 Arena, which I know a lot of you guys are interested in. First, I just want to say that Persona 5 Arena is definitely a thing. We don't have to worry, is it a thing? I know a lot of people on Twitter ask Arxis, hey, can you tell us something about it? But it's a thing, don't worry. Like, I'm 100% sure it's a thing at this point. Now, the thing is, from the leak, it was mentioned that Jack Frost should be in Smash, and he wasn't in Smash in any capacity. He wasn't part of Joker's moveset. He wasn't part of any of the levels. He's not an assist. So, people think that because that's not there, and because P5R was supposed to be a re-release, but it's looking more like a sequel, people are thinking that the whole leak is just wrong, when a lot of times companies will just give certain employees certain information that's slightly different than others. So if information leaks, they can limit it down to who it was that leaked the information. So most likely that was the case. I still 100% believe that Persona 5 Arena is happening, and I still 100% believe that it has been delayed because Arxis has been involved with a bunch of different projects recently, and they're even announcing more projects as of today, which I'm sure you guys have heard, their collaboration with Way Forward. But I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. Moving on to Joker and how he is in Smash. If you pick Joker and you pick the Mementos stage, literally it feels like Persona just takes over Smash, and I think that's awesome. That's an awesome thing to see in the game. There's good attention to detail for a lot of his moves, but still, there are some poses and moves that are taken from Yu Narukami in Persona 4 Arena. For example, like, Joker has a move that's really similar to Yu's Swift Strike that he has in this game. And also there's like a couple of poses that he does that are directly taken from Narukami. So, just saying, I think that in Persona 5 Arena, Joker's gonna be more, he's gonna have completely original moves. He's not gonna have anything that resembles what Narukami has when they make that game. I'm like 100% sure about that. So I honestly think that when Persona 5 Arena does happen, those people that are maining Joker right now in Smash, they're gonna see that. They're gonna see that he looks better in that game, that he looks even more fun to play, and they're gonna get on that. That's what I'm personally thinking and hoping. And of course, you guys know Persona 3 and Persona 4 music is now in Smash, along with the Teddy hat, the Yu Narukami, the Mii fighter version of Narukami. He's in Smash, and it just sucks that Smash literally has all the Phantom Thieves present in the game, whereas with BBTAG here, we're still waiting on the last two members of the investigation team to join BBTAG, and of course we all know their assets are already done. It does take work to port them over and touch them up, but, BBTAG's been out since before Smash, and before we even get the first of those missing two reps since EVO, they already have the full Phantom Thieves present in Smash. Not playable, but they are all present, and they all had to be modeled from the ground up, obviously. Now, I think it'd be really cool if we do see Persona 3 music in BBTAG. I think that'd be great, especially the tracks like Mass Destruction. Maybe Wiping All Out would be cool to have in the game as well, but definitely Mass Destruction. And definitely Burn My Dread. Preferably the Last Battle mix. That's the one that I prefer. But anyway, that and also some more Ruby tracks would be fantastic as well. Especially the openings for Volume 1 through 3. Those would be great. Now, jumping straight into the BBTAG Arcnama announcement that was announced earlier today. It's going to be next week on the 24th. They confirmed that the arcade release is going to be coming out in Japan on the 25th. Originally, it was the 26th, but they changed it to the 25th, and there's going to be an Arcnama stream on the 24th. And they confirmed that today on their Arcnama stream, and it's kind of funny. They announced their next one, and they're literally dedicating a whole stream to BBTAG, which I think that this is what really makes it seem like there's a lot of potential here for announcements. This is the exciting part. Now, let me see here. Right, so some people are completely disregarding this. You know, just saying that, oh, nothing's going to be announced, nothing's going to be talked about, but I have to disagree. People always talk about, you know, how things were last year with BBTAG and just how the company's been in the past, but I just want to point out to you guys that they are listening and they are learning from their mistakes, and I think that that's a big reason why the American branch is here, so they can understand how the American fan base, you know, works and how they can properly communicate with the American fan base. I do think that that's ultimately their goal. Even in interviews, Mori has said that that's their goal. So, for example, if you guys remember last year, the BBTAG Special Edition came out in Japan and the US, but the US version did not have the character pass, as well as a few other things that the Japanese version did, and people were very vocal about that, and people were very upset about that, you know. But if you look at this year, with Kill la Kill If, it has a special edition again, both, you know, Japan, US, UK, and they made sure that this special edition is the same worldwide. So it's the same special edition no matter what. Just so you guys, you know that. That looks like they have learned something from their experience last year. Also last year, I know you guys remember this, January of last year, this was when BBTAG's reps started to take a hit. They announced Blake from RWBY as being a DLC character, and people were extremely upset about this. There was a huge outrage about this, especially from the people who were buying this game just for the RWBY characters. So, you know, and then of course they did follow up saying that they plan to announce that the character was free at their following announcement. And if you think about it, most people at that point said that no, they weren't. They only did that because of the outrage that we have, that, you know, they had after they just said that it was a DLC character. But if you think about it, and you think about a lot of the dumb choices that ArcSys has made in terms of their marketing, I personally can believe that they did initially plan to have the character free from the get-go, but they wanted to save that announcement for the next time so they could, you know, announce something later. I really do think that they probably somewhere thought that was a good idea, because they've done so many stupid things before. Yes, that's why I believe that that's possible. But if you look at how they're doing things this year, Kill la Kill If is already confirmed to have DLC characters, but this time in the same announcement that they announced those DLC characters, they confirmed that they're free. You know, just pointing that out. They are learning from their mistakes. Now, I know that the American branch, sometimes, you know, they have a stream and it doesn't even amount to anything. You know, we all know how that is. They have a stream and then they don't really want to even answer any questions. But the Japanese branch doesn't seem to be like that. According to Anime FGC, this stream is going to be special. And I don't know, I hope that they got that from when they were watching the Japanese stream. I don't know if they were injecting that it's quote-unquote special themselves. I don't think they would. But anyway, it's very likely that we're going to be getting something announced. Now first I want to say, because I've seen people talk about this online, do not expect the 6th Fate to be announced next week. We already discussed, like on some of my earlier streams, that they're just now getting started with the 5th franchise, Arcana Heart. The 6th Fate will likely be an Evo reveal. They will be focusing on adding more Arcana Heart characters. It wouldn't make any sense to announce the 6th Fate anytime in the, you know, like immediately soon. Also, do not expect Shantae to be announced next week or to be the 6th Fate. She'd most likely just be a single character that's added to the roster if she was added, you know. And I'm gonna go into more detail about her in a little bit. Right, okay, Gray. I'm gonna cover that, bro. Well, actually, that's actually something I did not specifically plan to mention. I've mentioned it before, like some of my ideas for future DLC packs, but I'll cover that too, in just a minute when I get into that, bro. I'll specifically say who I think is going to be in the next DLC pack, and who like I would put money on being there, honestly. Yo, DJ, what's up, dude? All right. Oh, also, I'm just letting people know now because, of course, there's always been ArcSys might announce something hype, but then there's something else that's not hype that kills any excitement there was for the announcement. So I just want to put this out there now. If the Season 2 pass costs noticeably more than the first season pass, that is most likely because we are getting more characters made from scratch. So the season pass last year was $20. If the one this year happens to be $35 or $40, I'm just throwing those numbers out there just because I know they're, you know, at the higher end of everything. Just throwing those numbers out there just to throw them out there. Not saying it's going to be that price, but hypothetical. If it is that price, expect that we're going to get, you know, at least a few characters that are made brand new from scratch. I'm not even saying Arcana Heart characters, I'm saying completely new characters, right? Like brand new Ruby characters, you know, or Ryuko and Satsuki that I've been, you know, telling you guys about. You know, if they're going to announce them, if they're actually going to go through with that, that's going to be announced at EVO 9 times out of 10. If that's going to happen, it'll be announced at EVO. You know, and they would have to make those characters from scratch. Okay? Alright. Now I'm going to get to the good part, and I'm going to mention the things that they could potentially talk about on the stream. And I made sure, like, I thought this through. So, if you guys could think of anything else, though, feel free to comment in the chat. Now, if you've taken a look at the Japanese BBTAG arcade site, there's a grayed out tab there. And on there, the Japanese text there roughly translates to player record, so it will be something like, you know, it's talking about the system that records their wins and their losses, you know, things like that. That's what that tab is there for. It's grayed out. They have not added that to the site yet, but because it's there and because we see the text there and people know what it is, you know, at least if you're Japanese, you can read it, you know, you see what it is. It's not really anything that's that exciting. You know, but they could mention that on the stream, how that whole system works in terms of keeping track of their losses while they play in the arcade environment. I don't know if that's how most Japanese arcade fighting games work. If it is, then that's definitely nothing to be excited about for them, but I'm not sure how all that works in Japan exactly, so just wanted to mention that. Also, arcade mode has yet to be shown off. Now, I was told that in Japan, when there are the arcade Loki tests, they do not include arcade mode in those Loki tests. So we wouldn't even know about an arcade mode unless they announce it, or it was just there in the final game and they never talked about it. We don't know. I know it doesn't say anything on their site, but it also doesn't say anything about an arcade mode on the BlazBlue Central Fiction Japanese site as well. Just saying. Oh, Gray. Okay, that's another common thing I've been seeing. Some people say the new update, the characters that are in the new update will be free, including Heart, I know. Or at the very least they say that Heart is going to be free and the other 3 characters will be a DLC pack. Now, is that possible? Yeah, sure. Anything is possible. Do I think it's likely that all those characters are free? No, I don't. The reason why? Because they know that those are like 3 of the most Well, 2 of those 3 from the returning characters, we all know which one isn't as popular as the rest, but 2 of those 3 are extremely requested characters, and that one, even though they are less popular, they fit into the investigation team. So, they know that a lot of people are going to buy that pack. They know that. You know, if it was for sale, they would buy it. Now, what kind of business practice would it be if they just gave that to you for free? Just saying. Now, on the other hand, what if it is all free? Okay, then all the people who were saying, oh, Art can't afford this, Art can't afford that. Bro, if they can afford, not to say that they can't, even if they charge you for it, but if they can afford to buy a new license of a new franchise, add that character into the game, and add 3 characters that were expected to have been in the roster, and they can give that to you for free at this point, that is a really good position for them to be in, honestly, because that means that they have whatever money they would want for the immediate future regarding this game. So either way you look at it, it's a good thing, regardless of how you look at it. Yo, Ascending Nova, I'm talking about the Arcnama stream right now. I'm covering everything that could be talked about or mentioned at their stream next week. So yeah, you're getting it right here. I'm getting into everything right now. Right, I do agree, DJ. Well, actually, DJ, from what I've seen, people who drop this game off soon after launch and people who never pick this game up, those people are now asking about joining the game, you know, or picking up the game because their character is coming. They're asking the community about, oh, how's the game? You know, I've seen more and more posts of, even if their character isn't coming, they do still ask, hey, when is Tsurumi gonna be here? You know, oh, when's Adachi? Oh, like, when's Bullet? You know, people ask those questions because they really want their characters to join the game. You know, I've seen a lot of that recently. Even for the Ruby fans, they ask if the game is worth picking up. Which, by the way, in case some of you guys don't have the game is on sale right now for $18 from Shop for Megastore. I can gladly put the link in the chat if you guys want, but $18 for the game, and then of course $20 for the rest of the characters. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of people have been asking about that, you know, about new characters coming, when we're getting more characters. Gray, they cannot. This is a crossover game. They're not going to give them all away for free, and I personally don't believe that they should. I think the wait that they made us go through, that's the unacceptable part. The wait, that's for the returning characters, not for the 5th Fate. In my opinion, if they had taken even longer with the 5th Fate, no one should be angry. But at the same time, the returning characters should not have been held for this new Fate. In my opinion, they did that just so if people hated Arcana Heart joining the game, but then Naoto and Seth are there in the same pack, they're gonna buy that pack anyway. You see what I mean? That's the reason why I think that they held it off until then. That's the only reason I can come up with, because otherwise, those characters should have been in the game, hands down, like, without a doubt, because it does not take 9 months to get some, for them to port those characters to this game. It just doesn't take that long. They've made a whole arcade version of the game from scratch. In case you guys don't know, making an arcade version of the game, it's a completely different game, but it's like all the assets are there. So they practically remade the game in that amount of time for the arcades. And, you know, if you're telling me they could remake the whole game for the arcades, but we don't have the characters that they have assets for just sitting around, you know, no one can say that those characters take that long. I don't care what anyone says, bro. Gray, I personally, I predict between 18 to 20 characters for Season 2. If we got 24, that would be a really good surprise. But that's what I personally expect. And yeah, Nova, I agree. Like, I'm actually... Yeah, I'm just trying to address the comments really quick, but if I can keep going, I'm actually going to mention some of the things that they could... Some of the rest of the things that they could announce there. Nova, bro. 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 He has a sun color? Sun is like one of my favorite characters. Like, I would love for him to get in BBTAG, but I know the odds of that are like 5% or less, bro. Like that, it's a 5% chance or less for Sun Wukong to make it in. But I would love to have him in the game. If not, having Naoto have his colors is awesome. I don't know why they would give Seth Neo's colors. I mean, yeah, I don't see that. I love Neo. I would love for Neo to be in BBTAG, bro. She deserves to be in. She deserves to, along with Roman. Like, no doubt. But I don't know. I don't see the correlation between Seth and Neo that much. Then again, I don't know the uni lore that much, so maybe that could be it. Wow, okay. Teddy has a Roman color? That's an insult to Roman. That is an insult to Roman. Delete it. Delete it. Someone needs to delete that. Not even joking. Delete that. Teddy does not deserve a Roman color. Okay, okay, DJ, I think... Wow. Yeah, you guys have like a lot of questions. Okay, I'm gonna answer like a couple more. I'm gonna respond a couple more here, and then I gotta keep going, because I'm not even halfway through the news, bro. I have like so much to cover here today. So, DJ, how many more guest characters do I think will be the limit for this season? For this season, I think that, okay, I wrote this down somewhere, but I lost it, and then I covered this in one of my streams. I believe that total, when all 9 franchises are added, we're gonna have a total, from right now. Right now we have 40 characters. I believe that when this is all done, we're gonna have anywhere between 76 to 82. 82 or 84. I forgot what my number was. It was like between 76 to 82 characters total in this game. When all 9 franchises have been added, that's what I think. I know, like, you know, you guys probably... I know, like, some people didn't think that that number was reasonable, but I think it is for a few reasons. One, most of these characters that I plan on, or that I predicted coming to this game, are going to be from other fighting games. There's going to be a lot of data on them. There's going to be a lot of data on them in terms of their balance, what makes them good, what makes them bad. Plus, they're going to monitor this game, and they're going to see how the characters that they're bringing over from other games, how they usually stack up in the world of BBTAG, right? So, you know, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being between 76 and 82 characters, with the last 3 franchises. The last 3 franchises, 7, 8, and 9, being ones that are done primarily from the ground up, or depending on how it goes with the 7th Fate, depending on what the 7th Fate is, maybe just the last 2 franchises being done from the ground up. But oh wow, yeah, DJ, yeah, there's probably, it's a high chance there's gonna be 9. I covered the leak on my, like on a way earlier stream, like months ago, that there would be 9, and I was thinking, like, guys, I don't know if this is legit, but someone told me, who seems to maybe have some reliable information, that 9 fates, they're gonna have 9 fates, dude. And then I'm like, I don't know, and then we get the reveal at EVO Japan, and then it's like, oh my god, there's a space for 3 more fates there, and then it makes up a diamond, oh my god. So then it was like, after that, everyone was like, yep, there's gonna be 9 fates, which, yeah, that, I think that's awesome. You know, I fully believe that we're gonna have 9, like, I don't doubt that at all. Let me see. Yeah, great. I remember that, bro. That was like a funny... I'm pretty sure they were joking about Star Wars being the 10th Fate. I'm almost 100% sure. Like, they can't... Okay, I'm not gonna say they can't afford it. It would cost them too much to get Star Wars. I'm gonna say that. It would cost them too much to get Star Wars. Just saying. But yeah, let me carry on, guys. I'll keep an eye on the chat, but let me keep going. So, let me see, right, okay, so other things that they could show off at the Arcnama stream next week, maybe some character interactions, because so far we haven't seen any at all, but character interactions alone, even though that would be cool, I don't think that that would be the most hype thing. It would be cool, and people would like to see them, but it wouldn't be like that hype, you know what I mean? Like, for them to show character interactions the day before it comes out in Japan, they'd probably say, well, we can see that tomorrow when we play the game, you know? Also, a character trailer confirming a full Season 2. This is something that I feel like we should have gotten something more alluding to this, but we haven't yet, not officially. Now, we already know that this year's content, this year's plans for DLC, definitely includes this new character pack with Naoto, Seth, Teddy, and Hart, and it also includes more Arcana Heart characters, and it also includes the 6th Fate and whatever those characters are, which, for the time being, it really looks like it's either Dengeki Bunko or Fate. You know, usually there's a year's worth of DLC that's covered, you know, with a season pass, a character pass, and it's common practice now for, you know, for fighting games to have one, you know. Also, they refused to give pricing info before when they were asked. They said that that was something that they, quote-unquote, can't talk about at this time. I don't know anyone who runs a business, and when you ask them how much for this, will say, I'm sorry, we can't talk about this. That definitely sounds like there was a planned announcement relating to that. And I feel like if it was free, it would have been really easy for them to say, it's free. Just saying. Not now, Zekro. Not now. Yeah, like I got a lot of news to cover, bro. Let's see. Okay, so if pricing information is given at this stream, odds are a full Season 2 are, you know, it is going to be announced. We could get something like a bunch of silhouettes. We could get, you know, maybe just a tease of the next character pack. Not a reveal, but just a tease, like the same way how at the end of the arcade trailer in January, we got Naoto's voice with the to be continued. We could get the same thing next week. Who knows? Maybe they could have a trailer of showing off arcade mode, and then at the end of it, they have someone's voice with a to be continued. And then, of course, next month, before the game hits consoles, before the patch hits consoles, we would have that full reveal. Just saying, that is a possibility there. Let's see, what else? Oh, another thing I thought of, who knows, maybe next week we could have the reveal of a single Ruby character. I thought that was a possibility as well. People have been asking where Ruby is. I personally am pretty sure we are getting at least a couple more Ruby characters this season. We could see the first one revealed next week. Who knows? Or, if they don't reveal the Ruby character there, they could maybe, and this will be another marketing stunt straight out the page of Arc System Works if they did this, they could potentially reveal a Ruby character later at RTX Austin. I think that they have to have the first Ruby character revealed for this season by RTX Austin. And I say that because that's Rooster Teeth's event. But if it's revealed at RTX Austin, then it's not going to be EVO legal. That's the problem. That's why I'm like, would they reveal it there and get the Ruby fanbase hype, and then not have the character EVO legal? Or, you know, to come out after EVO or something, because it has to be a month before EVO for it to be EVO legal, which RTX Austin starts on July 5th, if I remember correctly, and EVO starts on August 4th, so that does not work out. Honestly, at this point, any Ruby character would get me hyped. Any Ruby character not John would get me hyped. I don't even care. My personal picks would be Roman, Pyrrha, and Neo. Those are like my personal 3 picks. And if we could somehow get the original voice of Crow, then I would say Crow for sure. Those are like my top 4 picks, no matter what. Like, that's just me. But Penny would be hype, Adam would be hype. I have mixed opinions on Cinder, but I know that if she was revealed, I would probably be hyped. But yeah, man, yeah, Neo would be insane. I already thought of, like, a play, like her play style and her potential moveset, Neo would be so crazy in a fighting game, dude. It would be ridiculous, man. But yeah, let me move on here. So, I think a good announcement that doesn't give us too much or anything, could be, like I said before, a trailer with the arcade mode ending with the character tease for the following character pack. And then of course they would, at least from that point, they could just drop a character trailer before the patch comes out, and then boom, the day the patch comes out, either have 2 packs of characters, on the, the day the patch comes out, or very shortly after. What if they release silhouettes next week, and then very shortly after the patch comes out, the following Friday, they have the Arcnama stream, and then at the Arcnama stream they reveal those characters. I feel like either of those choices would be great, personally. But let me see here. Okay, alright, so that pretty much... Okay, yeah, so that pretty much covers that for those options. I just hope that one of those would happen. Now, Gray, I think you were the one that asked me... Yeah, Gray, you were the one that asked me what characters I think will be in the next pack. The next pack, personally, I want them to skip Elizabeth and go straight to Rise, because it's awkward having Teddy in the game and not Rise. That's just awkward, man. But I do predict the next pack will have Elizabeth. And then from the BlazBlue side, I'm thinking either Celica, Bullet, or Kokanoe. One of those 3. Now, I know it's like, dude, you just gave 3 characters, but it's like, I don't know, I've been looking at different things. They've given Bullet and Kokanoe a lot of attention recently, but then Mori said in his interview that he could add Celica to BBTAG, so I don't know which one they would do first. It will be one of those 3, in my opinion. And then from Uni, I've heard people asking for, who was it? Nanase. A lot of people want Nanase. So it would probably be Nanase. Maybe... Who knows? Maybe it would be Phonon. I don't know. I'm thinking one of those 2. But I pretty much expect the next pack to be an all-girls pack. I expect it to be an all-girls pack. And then, of course, they would have the next Arcana Heart character, which I don't know that well personally. So I'm not going to comment on that. But you guys probably know who the next Arcana Heart character would be. E-Man, I do think Hilda's likely, but I think that we would get the full villain pack. When we get a villain, all of the villains would be in the same pack. So we would get Terumi, Hilda, Adachi, and then hopefully, like, Roman or something, right? In a full villain pack. That's how I see it going. But if they give us, like, if they split the villains up, I don't know, that would be weird. That would be so weird because so many people have talked about it being a dedicated villain pack. And I think that would just be so satisfying. But who knows? Who knows how they could do it, bro? Let me see. Okay. So, moving on from that. Alright, so now I'm going to cover Neptunia, because people have asked about Neptunia. So I'm going to cover Neptunia, and then Shantae, and then The Last Airbender. And then I think that'll be that for the news today. Okay, so for Neptunia. Oh, just so you guys know, Neptunia is getting censored, just like Sinner and Kagura. That was like something I read recently. Most games on... Yeah, most of their games are on a PlayStation console. I think there's the next one's coming out on Switch, or it's already on Switch, but that's only one of the latest games. If you're a fan of Neptunia, just so you know, and you don't want your future games to be censored, make sure you tell the devs that you like to see them, you know, maybe consider making the games on Switch and Xbox, you know. And of course, you can tell Sony to cut out their BS, because Sony's censorship is not okay. It's not okay. I've been against it, and, you know, the thing is, I think it's good now to get that message out there because the PS5 is going to be coming, next gen is going to be coming. So, you know, if you guys really want to stick it to Sony, don't buy their PlayStation 5 unless they commit to not censor, just so you guys know. Now, the next premium Xbox is rumored to be even stronger than the PlayStation 5. So, if the Japanese devs happen to jump on the Xbox, you know, they'll have more capability for what they want, you know, with their games, and they can continue with their series being completely uncensored, just so you guys know. So that's why I thought Xbox and Switch would be, you know, would be great choices. Now, moving on, I checked the subreddit because I was curious. Yeah, of course. I always assume that that they're always gonna have PC. It seems like recently they've been putting all their games on PC as well. So I assumed that they were gonna keep doing it for PC. But of course, you know, for Steam, Switch, and Xbox, they need to keep, you know, they need to keep developing and making sure their games are on those three for sure. And then if Sony, you know, just comes around and stops with all the censorship and this and that, then of course, by all means, continue to have their games on the PlayStation. Now, I checked the subreddit recently for Neptunia, which I don't know anything about the series, or I know very little about the series. I just checked the subreddit because I wanted to know what people think. So, yes, there is definitely demand for a fighting game, and I think that there's pretty decent demand for a fighting game with the Neptunia characters. The main thing is that a lot of the fan base expressed their interest in Neptunia getting its own dedicated fighting game, so that the world of Neptunia could be fully represented in the game, and I totally understand that. For example, when Arxis said they were going to fully represent the 4 worlds of, you know, the franchises they announced initially for BBTAG, you know, BlazBlue, Uni, Persona, and Ruby, I was really looking forward to Ruby's world being fully represented because this is the best game that Ruby is a part of for the time being. But that's not the case. We got Team Ruby, we got, you know, we got some good Ruby tracks, we got, you know, some good Ruby stages, and that's it. That's really all we got. I would not say that their universe is fully represented in the game, unfortunately. So I understand where that's coming from. But just like how right now there's a lot of demand for a dedicated Ruby fighting game, and that's because it got so much exposure, you know, and it's much more likely to happen now because they got that exposure. So I honestly feel the same thing could happen for Neptunia. So I think that it will be really good to get the Neptunia characters in the game so that people can judge, you know, interest and you know, see if there is real interest for it. Because if they do well, then it's just that much easier to get them their own dedicated fighting game. Yeah, Saber, I really hope they learn their lesson when it comes to both you know, Sony, their censorship and also their ideas on crossplay. Sony just needs to really clear things up, and they need to get a better understanding of this, because I honestly, like, I see all the different forms of media as like forms of art, and if they're gonna censor gaming, they're literally censoring a form of art, and I just think that that's not acceptable, especially when it's like they have the rating system in place. Use it. It's just that simple. Like, Nintendo and Microsoft are fine with this, but then it's Sony that has the problem, and I hate that. Now, let me see here. Right, so adding those other characters from Neptunia to BBTAG, that would be a good way to judge interest. I've been saying before, that's a good way to see if there's interest in a fighting game for the franchise. This is why I said that JoJo would have been perfect, because, you know, a lot of people say they want a JoJo fighting game, but this would be their chance to show it if they just added some JoJo characters in here. But, of course, that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, oh, also, the Neptunia fans strongly hated the DLC practices for BBTAG, but I personally disagree when it comes to this. I feel like the game was fairly priced. The game at launch was $50, and then $20 for the character pass, and that comes out to being, you know, $10 more than the average game. And I've personally gotten that much value from the game. You know, I've had that much fun from the game, and you know, even my characters, the characters I wanted to play, aren't even in the game. But if the characters I wanted to play are in the game, because I know for some people they're already in the game now, then I would say the price is a steal. You know, of course that's my opinion, but dude, I know if I had my characters in this game, I would be enjoying this game like on a different level than I am right now. I know I would, dude. This is why I'm waiting for like the villains to get in the game. This is why I'm waiting for the Ruby characters to get in the game. Like, I literally didn't have anything in this game except Ruby. That was it, man. And when I say Ruby, I meant Ruby Rose. That was the one character I really wanted to play in this game. But anyway, moving on. Let me see here. Okay, so right. Mori said in the interview that that's up on YouTube, when asked about Neptunia characters joining BBTAG, he said, "I'll get in trouble if I say too much." Now, looking at how there is demand for a Neptunia fighting game, and looking at their pattern of announcements where if, like, just from what I've seen, if there's an announcement that they already have planned or that they know is coming soon and you ask them about it, they're gonna say that they can't say anything or look forward to news in the future. But if it's something that's not that much of a surprise, like for example, people expected more characters from all the franchises to come to the game because they had already confirmed a Season 2. So when Mori was asked about specific characters like Seth, Celica, you know, Crow, etc., he gave answers. When he was asked even about Fate, he gave the answer that that it's difficult to acquire the rights to those characters. But then when asked about Neptunia, instead of giving a straightforward answer like that, he gave that kind of answer. To me, that says that he knows that Neptunia is getting some kind of representation in a fighting game. Now, Arxis is too busy to be making a dedicated Neptunia fighting game right now. The other two options are French Bread making the Neptunia fighting game, because Arxis published Uni in Japan, I believe it was Japan, and so if French Bread was making it, Arxis would know about it, you know? But I don't think that's the case, because from what I've been told, French Bread doesn't really make that many new fighting games, because they just don't like taking that risk, because Uni is the fighting game that, this is the fighting game that's had like the longest traction, the longest life to it, so that's why, you know, they've just been supporting it over time instead of making a different game. Midnaz, Senran Kagura, I believe that, yeah, like, I mean, I've said it before, I believe Senran Kagura is coming to BBTAG. I personally believe it's going to be the 7th Fate. If I was going to predict, I would say it's the 7th Fate, Neptunia is the 8th Fate, and then Fate would be the 9th. Those are my predictions, but I could be wrong. The 7th Fate could be something... The 7th Fate could be something else, and then the 8th Fate could be Senran Kagura. But I feel like it's the 7th or 8th Fate. Personally. Zekro, Sony Japan. Some things are actually getting censored here on the American PlayStation consoles that aren't censored in Sony Japan, but some things are getting censored just across the board when it comes to Sony, so it does vary. Saber. Okay, let me see. Okay. I mean, I've mentioned those before, I think that if they were gonna add Chaos Code would have been the 5th Fate before. Instead of Arcana Heart being the 5th Fate, it would have been Chaos Code. I'm almost 100% sure personally that the 6th Fate is gonna be Dengeki Bunko. Mainly because, yeah, they're already working with Sega. They're already working with French Bread. They just have to ask Dengeki Bunko for the rights. Licensing for Dengeki Bunko is actually easy. It's easy. So, and then they already have the sprites for a bunch of the Fighting Climax characters, which also are pretty much the most popular characters from series from, you know, the different Dengeki Bunko manga. So that's why I really think Dengeki Bunko is going to be the 7th Fate. I'm sorry, the 6th Fate. And I don't think we're getting Chaos Code. I think if we're getting Chaos Code, they're not going to be a Fate. If we do get Chaos Code, I don't think it would be a Fate. I think it would just be, like, a few characters added in. The same way how I've said before, like, if we get Shantae, she's not a Fate. She's a single character. And if we get Ryuko Satsuki, we're not getting Kill la Kill as a Fate. We're just getting Ryuko and Satsuki. I feel like it'd be the same case with Chaos Code. I don't think Chaos Code would be a Fate, personally. But, who knows? I could be wrong. And, oh, for Cinder and Kagura, a lot of people came up with things, and to be honest, if there wasn't extra evidence, it could have just been old data that they had last minute changed. Like, it'll be like within the last 3 months of the game, before the game got printed, like 3 months before the game got its print, that they scrapped. If that was the case. But due to the evidence and the different responses around Cinder and Kagura, I'm almost 100% sure, bro. Like, I'm 90% sure that Cinder and Kagura is coming. Just because of the other things that I've seen since then. And yeah, Saber, yeah, the thing is, Mori himself said that he wanted Kill la Kill to be in the game ever since... Oh, I'm sorry, not Kill la Kill. Specifically Ryuko and Satsuki. He said he wanted Ryuko and Satsuki to be in BBTAG, but he also did say at the time that he didn't want anyone tweeting it out, but it did get tweeted out, so he wants them in the game. The way I see it is, if it's possible, if he gets the yes from Studio Trigger, Ryuko and Satsuki are going to be announced at EVO, no questions asked. Like, I don't doubt that. If they gave him the yes, it's going to be at EVO that they're announced, because that's the perfect time to announce them. Plus, Kill la Kill If comes out 1 week before EVO. The timing is too perfect, in my opinion, for them not to announce the characters. If they got a yes, in my opinion. And... Gray. Dude, we've already mentioned this, dude. Mori said Ryuko and Satsuki. He didn't say anything about Mako. And even with just Ryuko and Satsuki, that's already 1/4 of the roster from Kill la Kill If. I personally don't think Mako's gonna get in. I know that you disagree, and it would be awesome if Mako got in. She's one of my favorite characters from the show. Mako, Gamagori, and Nui are the only other... Like, honestly, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even take Satsuki, man. Forget Satsuki. Let me get Mako or Gamagori or Nui instead of Satsuki. But that's not gonna happen, bruh. I don't see it happening. Okay, Zin. I don't think that Mori hasn't done... It's not like he's trying to bait people. I don't think he's trying to bait people. When the game came out, he said he wanted 2B and 9S in the game. And it seemed like he was confident about it. That's what happened. But he was a little bit overconfident, and apparently Yoko... I'm not even going to try to remember his last name. The guy that created Nier Automata, apparently he'd already given 2B to Soul Calibur. So that was a no. But now we have Ryuko and Sasuke to look forward to, and they are working with Studio Trigger. This is why I'm so sure that we're gonna get Ryuko and Satsuki, because they are working with Studio Trigger. Like, the thing is this, both companies, Arxis and Studio Trigger, started off as small companies. There's like a sense of respect that comes to others who have started off from small beginnings like you. Like, it's something that's subtle, but there's a respect there. Same thing for Rooster Teeth. If you guys know, Rooster Teeth was not always as big as it is now. It started off from something small. And again, you know, we got Ruby in BBTAG. Just pointing that out. But yeah, I need to keep going with the news here. Let's see. Okay, Saber. I mean, if the 6th Fate is announced before EVO, that'd be great, but honestly, I see them saving the major announcements. I see them saving for EVO are the 6th Fate announcement, 1 to 2 character packs that they are announcing there that are going to be released immediately after, most likely one of which is going to have the villains in them. And then also the 7th Fate tease. Oh, and then also the Ryuko and Satsuki, you know, reveal, or whatever hype guest character team they want to have as the game revealed there. That's what I predict. But let me keep going here. Okay. Alright, got sidetracked there. Wow, I still have a lot to go through. Okay, so yeah, Neptunia. I feel like they are going to add Neptunia to BBTAG, either as the 8th or the 9th Fate. But obviously, if it's the 9th Fate, that's assuming, you know, we're not going to get Fate then as a Fate, unfortunately. If it's the 9th one, I don't think we're going to get Fate. But anyway, hopefully it's the 8th and then we get Fate for the 9th. Some people said that maybe they could get some Super Neptunia RPG assets to help them make the sprites. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I don't think that... I think that it might help a bit, but I don't think that they can just directly draw their whole moveset from there, because that game is an RPG. The animations from that game aren't the best, to be honest. So, I mean, it would help, but it wouldn't make it easy like it was for Heart, you know? Let me see... Okay, yeah. And then if Neptunia is revealed, it'll probably be a purple diamond, most likely, and then I imagine that it's going to come after Senran Kagura, because the sprite for Homura from Senran Kagura is already done, and she already has a moveset, she already has her supers, so Senran Kagura requires 3 characters to be made from scratch, with 1 just needing to be, you know, redrawn. That's it. Whereas Neptunia requires all the characters made from scratch. You know, personally, if we do get Neptunia in the game, I really want Hero Tune to be in the game. She's a fusion of Hero from Spectral Force and then Neptune, obviously. And she looks really cool. She looks like this Grim Reaper kind of character. I would love for Hero Tune to be in the game. Like, please make it happen if Neptunia is in BBTAG. I would love to play her with Ruby. Alright, now, also, you guys already heard the announcement earlier today that Arc System Works is now working with WayForward, which is an American-based indie game company. They are the creators of Shantae, and as of today, a lot of people have expressed interest in Shantae joining BBTAG. Now, I know that some of you guys remember when I talked about the tier list a few streams ago, where I gave different tiers for the different franchises that were likely to join BBTAG, right? Shantae is between a tier 1 and a tier 2, so, you know, tier 1.5 or so, you know, of course with tier 1 being Studio Trigger properties, since ArcSys can directly just ask Studio Trigger for properties, and then tier 2 being something like Dengeki Bunko, where they're not working directly with them, but a lot of things are in favor and are easy to execute. So I feel like it's a 1.5 in terms of likeliness, because they're working directly with the company, but we don't know. There's a few things we don't know here. We don't know if she's already going to be in Smash. I don't know if you guys are aware. Most of you probably are. But Smash fans have been asking for Shantae for a long time now, from what I've seen. Much longer than us, obviously. We just started less than 24 hours ago. So, at the very least, Smash fans would be pretty upset if she wasn't in there, and if she was in BBTAG, and, you know, it's possible they might, you know, try to trash the reputation of BBTAG, or you know, just spread whatever about BBTAG, just because, you know, they're not getting their character, you know, there's a lot of Smash players, so they do have the numbers on us. Just saying. Let me check these comments really quick. Okay, Saber, there's a few things with that. One, okay, well, I like went into real detail about this. One, I think that we're gonna continue to get BlazBlue characters for the entire life of this game, personally. And don't worry, we're getting more Arcana Heart characters. We're getting more Arcana Heart characters, for sure. Like I already talked about it, we're definitely getting more, don't worry about it. For BlazBlue characters, if we only got the must-haves, and we got like the 4 top characters, it would be like Terumi, and then, oh man, it's a hard call, because after Terumi, I feel like he's needed because he's a villain, but then you have Celica, Hibiki, Kokonoe. I mean, you could just... And then you have Bullet. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to stop at 20. Like, I think we're going to get more throughout the rest of the life of the game. But at the same time, I think that we're going to get so many characters and packs in the game that, one, we're going to run out of the Eunice roster. So they're going to replace Eunice with the new Fate. I already said this before. Like, I feel like Eunice is going to get replaced with Arcana Heart at some point, because we get all the characters, or almost all the characters, from Eunice. And then I think that we're gonna get, and then I think we're gonna also run through almost the rest of the Ultimax roster. I would put money on running through the rest of the Ultimax roster. If we're gonna run through one of the rosters completely, I would say probably Ultimax, because there's so much demand for like Rise, Adachi, Minazuki, and Junpei. Like, that's 4 characters just from Ultimax. You know, and then I'm sure there are people who prefer Margaret over other characters. And I'm sure that people, you know, there's people like me who like Marie, just saying. But yeah, no, they can keep Yukari. They can keep Yukari for sure. And then Kin can't get in because Kin is a puppet character. Just saying. And then, of course, I think the Persona roster will be replaced by the Dengeki roster. So we get a lot more, you know, Dengeki Bunko characters added. But that's just my theory, you know. Wow, let me see. Oh yeah, isn't Chaos that puppet character or something? Yeah, whoever's the puppet characters, not gonna come. Guest characters, like Elton and Minakatsuki, I wouldn't count on it. I really wouldn't count on it, because Mori pretty much said no, for the most part. He said it would be, that it's harsh that he has to work with another company if that was gonna happen, so I wouldn't count on it. Oh yeah, but I would definitely, bro, Hilda and Nanase, yeah, I would say those two for sure. A lot of people want them, like, for sure. If they want money, they're gonna put those characters in, for sure. Okay. Alright, cool. So, let me continue on here. So yeah, Smash fans have been asking for Shantae for a while now. Now, it's possible that ArcSys has asked WayForward before. They've asked them ahead of time about Shantae. And I say that because P-Cube is the UK publisher for most of Arc System Works games there in the UK. But they also publish Shantae's... they also publish the different Shantae games, too. So, it's possible that, that they asked P-Cube to tell WayForward that they would like to talk to them, you know, about something, and then they, you know, probably got in contact, and they could have asked about Shantae. Now, this could have happened. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm saying that it's a possibility, just to be clear. And from what I've seen... Oh, yeah, from what I've seen, it would just be Shantae and not any other characters from her game. No one has been asking for other characters from Shantae. Literally, the Smash community, BBTAG community, from what I've seen, is just Shantae. So it wouldn't be anyone else. Just her. That's it. And, yeah, I don't know her character that well personally, but I watched a Smash moveset, a potential moveset video for her, and guys, Shantae has everything. She would be top tier in this game if she was added. She can transform. She has spells, and she could use the spells for long range attacks, or she could use it for set play. There's like some electric cloud that she can make, and then it shoots out lightning. That would be really good for Oki. She has really good moves to be a rushdown character. She can fly, because she can turn into like this bird thing. She could have command grabs. She just has like a lot of different things that she could have as her moveset, and there's no reason that if she joined that she couldn't have a completely unique moveset from everyone else in the game. I think that'd be really cool. And she'd be definitely unique in this cast without a doubt. Now, yo, Combo, what's up, dude? Okay, so yeah, the same way how Arc could have asked P-Cube to help them contact WayForward, it's the same way how now that they're working with WayForward, they can actually ask them to help them contact Nickelodeon. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but WayForward has worked on different SpongeBob games, Ninja Turtles games, and obviously both of those IPs are owned by Nickelodeon. So since they've worked directly on them, they can, it's possible that ArcSys could, get in contact with Nickelodeon and ask them about Avatar the Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. But even so, even now that it has gone from being impossible to being possible, I still would say that Avatar the Last Airbender is a tier 4 franchise. Now, what exactly does that mean? A tier 3 franchise, before when I mentioned it, tier 3, you guys remember how Mori publicly expressed his interest to get 2B and 9S, which are obviously owned by Square Enix, into BBTAG. Assuming that he actually, has contacts with Square Enix, because for him to do that, it sounds like he knows a few people over there at the very least, right? There's some manga owned by Square Enix, specifically manga like Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, and a couple of others that they're owned by Square Enix, and I said that tier 3 would be those characters from those manga. That's tier 3. So tier 4 would be the next level that's less likely than that. But it is still possible. I feel like Last Airbender is at the very edge of what's possible as of today, which that's better than where it was before, because before they did not have any contacts at all that connected them to Nickelodeon, but now they do. Just saying. Now, the thing is, when you think about it, Nickelodeon they have to say yes to their quote-unquote kid-friendly series, joining a game where characters swear and they show more skin than the average parent would want their child to be exposed to. That's one thing. On the other hand, the same audience that watched Last Airbender back when it was airing on Nickelodeon is now much older. So, that could make a difference. If you look at Samurai Jack, the same people who watched the show before it was on Adult Swim, years ago, and, they made the new updated Samurai Jack for the current, for the audience after they had aged and all that time had passed. So they were much older watching the more, mature, if you want to call it that, Samurai Jack on Adult Swim. So, just saying. But then also keep in mind that Nickelodeon is an American company, and 2019 seems like the year of censorship and BS. So, with all the recent censorship talks and everything relating to anime and gaming, maybe they're worried that could be spun by the media to put a bad rep on their franchise Avatar, and they would say no. That's a possibility too. Now, and then, even if they said, okay, yes, we'll let you have the franchise for X amount of money, then ArcSys has to decide, it's a question of, does ArcSys have the amount of money that they're asking for, and then are they willing to pay that much for the characters? You know, so like I said, ultimately, it's a tier 4 franchise at best right now for the time being, unless in the future you see them openly start teasing it. That's the only circumstance I would say where it's like, okay, it's gone up a tier now in terms of likeliness. Alright, so that was pretty much it for the news.